We're back now with some healthy advice for parents of little ones. Just because they may be out of school for the summer doesn't mean that germs are also on vacation. So here with some tips for teaching your children the importance of washing their hands all year round is Patsy Stinchfield from Children's Hospitals and Clinics of Minnesota. Hi, Patsy.
Good morning.
Yeah, summer gets a little loosey-goosey on everything.
Sure
all
does.
the rules that we're so careful about during school. Tell us about this latest project to fight germs.
Well, Children's has partnered with Kohl's, and they've given us a generous grant to do some influenza prevention activities. So one of the things is that because influenza is not around in the summer, we're really emphasizing other good healthy habits like washing our hands, which is a year-round activity.
All right. Well, what should kids be doing, and what should we be telling them?
Well, with hand washing, the main thing is, first of all, do it. There's a lot of people that still don't wash their hands, and you know the usual times after you use the restroom, before you eat, but do it well. That is, to do it long enough.
Sing the alphabet. That's what they tell the little ones a lot of times. Keep going.
Exactly, and grown-ups need to do that as well. Or your ABCs a couple times, the happy birthday song, and then use a lot of good friction. That's the two main things you can do.
Really get it going. I also had teachers telling little kids sometimes get your fingernails down in there too,
right,
because they kind of forget about that part.
Right, in between and rubbing all around.
All right, well, if we want to teach our kids about these kind of germs and other things, you all have put together a video. What's in the video?
Yeah, we've got a really nice project coming up with several videos together that, this one's going to emphasize how to properly wash your hands.
So it's a longer one, as I understand it, several minutes, and then you all have taken bits and pieces.
Right.
That who's going to be seeing this? Who's going to be using it?
Right. We're going to be distributing this video to schools this fall, and so there's 6 segments. One talks about getting your flu vaccine, one talks about staying home when you're sick, about covering your cough, and then of course the important always washing your hands.
So these will be free to schools?
Right. We're going to distribute it, and that's part of the generous donation from Kohl's.
What a terrific idea. There probably are some other things that we can be doing. We were talking about washing hands. You were talking about covering the cough.
Right.
Do we have to worry about what age we start this, or is it as soon as they're old enough, to understand?
Right. I think for adults, we need to wash our own hands and then wash our children's hands who are too young to be able to reach the sink or know how to properly use soap and water or alcohol hand sanitizer. Being able to help your children and then model for them, and then of course school-age kids really get into it. But as you get older too, sometimes we forget and we go too fast. So all ages need to really keep it in mind.
What's the latest thoughts on the antibacterial washes? Because at first they were heaven, and then they said no, but they're getting rid of all of the flora that our body needs to build up resistance to germs.
There's certainly times when we use them in hospitals, alcohol hand sanitizers, and there's certainly times when soap and water is what you really want to use, especially after you've used hand sanitizers 10 times or so. You really need to get that off. It makes a residue. But it's good when you're traveling. It's good when you don't have access to soap and water. It's better than having germs accumulate on your hands.
Okay, great quick fix in the car or in your handbag for little bits and
on
pieces,
airplanes. Yep, when you're traveling.
Well, it only gets us ready for wintertime when we really have to cut down on the germs.
And that's the idea, is that before you know it, school's going to be back, and we need to get all of our vaccines, all of our family members their vaccines. We need to do our well child checks, and for sure, as soon as flu vaccine comes out in the fall, line up for that.
Get that too, and everybody will be a lot healthier and safer.
Absolutely.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Great project with Kohl's. For more information about the Kohl's and Children's Hospitals and Clinics Influenza Prevention Project for Kids, visit childrensmn.org/giving/Kohl's.